Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the gymnasium here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to bring you this coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. Happy holidays to everyone out there. It is our final edition of Scarlet Hawks athletics here for 2023, and we're happy to bring you our first edition of Milford Varsity girls basketball this evening, as tonight your Scarlet Hawks take on a rival from the Davenport division in the Sharon Eagles. Teams heading out on the court now, just moments away from getting started. Let's bring you the starting fives before we get going. First, for the visiting Sharon Eagles, it is number 12, Ava Poulton, number 14, Carmen Leonardi, number 15, Natalie David, number 22, Serena Bianenemy, and number 30, Rachel Hager. And for the Scarlet Hawks, the starting five: number 1, TJ Downing, number 14, Caitlin Kernan, number 15, Olivia Baglione, number 23, Erin Mickelson, and number 24, Katrina Ledger. And with that, action underway. Sharon controls the opening tip, and a quick shot off the opening possession for Carmen Leonardi is good to get the scoring started. Plenty to delve into on the status of both of these programs as the game goes along this evening. Here's Erin Mickelson with a quick pass to the wing, and the shot from Olivia Baglione no good. Milford controls the offensive rebound, and now it's TJ Downing. She loses control, gets it back, and now the pass up to the top of the key for Baglione, out on the wing for Downing from three, and it's off the side of the rim, and eventually tips out of bounds. Possession will stay with Milford. Still a full shot clock. The head coach of the Sharon Eagles is Matt Della Barba, his second year as Eagles head coach. Nice rebound generated there by Caitlin Kernan. Grabs another rebound, and Milford doing an excellent job on the offensive glass. And still no shots to show for their efforts. And finally now the Eagles able to take the ball away. An extended trip up the floor for Milford, but unfortunately no points scored. Meanwhile, a nice cut to the basket for the Eagles, number 12, Ava Poulton. A whistle comes in at the end of the play. So Coach Della Barba in his second year on the Eagles bench. Meanwhile, there has been a coaching change for the Scarlet Hawks varsity girls basketball program. After TJ Dolliver was the head coach of this program for 8 straight years, he stepped down after last season, and now Austin Costa takes over as the Scarlet Hawks head coach. Free throws here for Ava Poulton. She misses the first. The foul was called on Olivia Baglione. And Poulton makes the second. Coach Costa, familiar to Scarlet Hawks fans, especially folks who tuned into our spring sports coverage in recent seasons, as Coach Costa also is the head coach of the varsity boys lacrosse team in the spring. Here's Baglione now cutting inside. Pass on the wing for Kernan, mishandled, and it goes out of bounds. The Scarlet Hawks come into tonight's action with an overall record of 1-2. That one victory on the year came in their season debut in a non-conference matchup against Grafton, a overtime thriller as it turned out, with Milford eking out a 1-point margin of victory. 2 losses in Hockomock League play since then, so they look to break out of a bit of a losing streak here tonight. The Eagles, meanwhile, come into tonight's action looking for their first victory of this 2023-2024 season. They are 0-2. 6:22 still left in the first quarter as Milford makes the inbounds pass, but again it slips through the fingers. And I beg your pardon, that was deflected out of bounds. It will stay Milford basketball. Now the inbounds pass in cleanly to Erin Mickelson. In her 4th year of varsity action in this girls program. Here's Kernan, now contested shot, won't go down. Now Ledger fights for the rebound and puts it back for 2. Nicely done by Katrina Ledger. .5:55 on the clock now as Sharon goes back and forth around the perimeter. Good defense out on the wing for Downing. And now active hands for Katrina Ledger, I beg your pardon, Caitlin Kernan going for the steal. And meanwhile, Sharon commits the turnover. A small crowd here in the gym as we get underway with this action here on this Wednesday evening, the 20th of December. Just a few short days away from Christmas. Free throws coming up here for Caitlin Kernan after the foul was called on Serena Bienenemy. Milford looking for a more consistent effort on the offensive side of the ball this season. They had a tough go of it offensively a season ago. They were the lowest scoring offense in the entire Hockomock League last season, averaging just 36.9 points per game. There's been some low scores to start this season as well, as the ball goes out of play, last touched by the Eagles. "47 points generated by this offense in that overtime win against Grafton. Since then, they have been held to right around 30 points in their last two games, both losses, both by decided margins at the hands of Foxborough and Attleboro. Ball up for grabs. Here's Downing wide open on the perimeter. The shot no good. Ledger going after the rebound, but Sharon able to settle it. Olivia Landstein pulls it away for the Eagles. Sharon's also been struggling offensively through their first two games of the season. So two teams in similar stages of development at this early point in the year. And still a low score here as we get to about midway through this first quarter. A little fadeaway shot knocked down by number 30, Rachel Hager. She's been one of the top scoring threats on this Eagles offense through their first two games. Ledger now in a double team. Olivia Baglione eventually settling down the ball back into the hands of Kernan now. Ledger loses the handle, gets it right back. And now Kernan cuts inside. Nice move to the basket. Power move by Kernan. And that's going to push Milford now back to within one. Caitlin Kernan still just a sophomore, but has logged plenty of varsity minutes for multiple sports now through her underclassmen years. Wrapped up her second varsity season on the girls soccer team. We saw her with the varsity softball team last spring. I'm sure we'll see her there again when spring rolls around in 2024, and once again on the varsity squad for this girls basketball team as well. And that's really a key going into the season for Milford, is they do have a lot of experience on this varsity roster. You look at the likes of Maeve Driscoll, Olivia Baglione, who have been four-year varsity players. Katrina Ledger, plenty of experience on this varsity roster. TJ Downing, who really popped with the girls volleyball team this past fall and has been continuing to get better in a range of sports in the last couple of seasons, now a junior on this roster. Kay Pellegrini has seen plenty of experience at the varsity level as well. So a lot of experience, and also a lot of experience in some other sports as well. Chloe Murdoch, this is the first time we've seen her on the varsity basketball squad, but she has been the starting goaltender for the soccer team the last couple of seasons. Kaylee Turtelot also has a lot of experience at the varsity level in soccer. And as we mentioned, Erin Mickelson, a four-year varsity player for this basketball program. So hoping that that experience is going to pay off. Here is Driscoll now on the move, trying to take it coast to coast. She gets fouled on the way up. And we'll head to the free throw line. A decent amount of looks from the line here early. First points of the game for Maeve Driscoll. Perfect 2 for 2 from the line, and Milford takes their first lead of the game at 6-5 with 3:23 to go in the first. Passing here for the Eagles leads to a look out on the perimeter. It's no good. Now Ledger tied up with the Eagles for the jump ball. Possession arrow keeps it with Milford. Kernan now comes back for the inbounds pass. Kay Pellegrini now out on the floor for the Scarlet Hawks. Long pass finds Pellegrini for three. And they'll count it from two. A foot on the line there for Pellegrini. Milford takes an 8-5 lead. Okay, such a great energy presence, great leader. We've talked about that in previous sports seasons as well. Great to see her healthy to start this winter sports season. She's battled some injuries throughout her freshman and sophomore years. Driscoll now trying to cut inside, and she takes the foul. They call the foul on Olivia Landstein. That's her second foul since checking into the game. 4 team fouls now for Sharon, 1 for Milford. Teeing up a shot from the corner for Maeve Driscoll. It's no good, and the rebound controlled by the Eagles. Quick outlet pass will find Carmen Leonardi. Landstein, the ball handler, now gets it back to Leonardi, and now a giveaway to Kernan. Trying to get up the floor with some speed, but guarded closely by Rachel Hager. Now Ledger. And the fouls keep mounting here for the Eagles in this first quarter. Foul called on Kieran Foster. Milford having some struggles from the free throw line. Just 2 for 5. The Hawks will retain possession here. Not sure if they called a lane violation there on the second shot. Now Driscoll from 3, just off target. And now it's Downing battling for the rebound. She puts up a good look that won't fall, and if you're Coach Costa, you have to love the chances that Milford is getting on the offensive side of the floor. The rebounding has been outstanding for Milford here in the first. Wanting to continue to see that effort, and eventually the shots will start falling. Ava Baglione checking into the game for the first time. There's active hands for Maeve Driscoll. She swats that ball out of play. Right now, Pellegrini, Mickelson, Ava Baglione, Maeve Driscoll, and Katrina Ledger, the 5 on the floor for the Scarlet Hawks with 1:18 to go in the first quarter. An 8-5 lead for Milford as Rachel Hager drills a 3. She's up to 5 points in this quarter. It knots up the score at 8 as we head down to the final 60 seconds of this opening period. Pellegrini, a long pass across the floor to Driscoll. She cuts inside. Can't get the shot, but she will head back to the free throw line. more shot to go here for Driscoll. Misses. Ledger, though, with the rebound. And her shot doesn't fall, so right now Milford just a bit snake-bitten on the offensive side. So we stay tied at 8. 43 seconds now left to go. Kay Pellegrini getting called for the blocking foul. That's her second foul. So now about 3 seconds difference between shot clock and game clock as Lauren McLaughlin gets set up for the inbounds pass. Ava Baglione pestering defensively. She makes the steal at midcourt. She pulls up for the shot. It doesn't fall. There's Ledger again for the defensive rebound. And the ball ends up out of bounds, and Sharon will take over. Handoff by the Eagles. Shot clock is turned off here for the final stretch of the quarter. Off-balance shot tossed up by Hager is no good. Pellegrini wrestles down the defensive rebound. 7 seconds left as Baglione now loses control of the ball. And by the look of the reaction, Natalie David called for the foul on the Sharon side. I beg your pardon, now they call the foul on Ava Baglione. She looks confused, so now it will be the Eagles who will inbound with 5.4 seconds on the clock. The ball into Rachel Hager. 2 seconds left. She tosses up a deep shot. It is short, and that will be the final play of the first quarter. So neither side able to capitalize a whole lot on offensive chances, but a lot of good things there for Milford, in particular on the offensive glass, and generating a lot of turnovers as well. So Coach Costa's group will look to get a little bit more consistent knocking down shots in the second quarter. That will come your way in just a moment. Quick pause here on the broadcast. We'll be back with more in just a moment here on Milford TV. We thank you so much for joining us on this coverage of Scarlet Hawks Athletics here on Milford TV. I am Milford TV Executive Director Tim Coette on the call. We're locked and loaded with crew on this final edition of Scarlet Hawks Athletics for 2023. Got a couple of our interns helping us out tonight, including Milford High School intern Jack Ricca and Hopedale High School intern Nate Kamara. Also have longtime friend of Milford TV and MHS alum Logan Keefe helping us out on camera. And Patrick Garapi also on the coverage as well, as Milford is able to drain the first shot here in the second quarter. Quickly answered on the Sharon side, and so the Eagles quickly swing the lead back in their favor. Dave Driscoll heating up here in the second. A 13-11 Scarlet Hawks lead here with a little under 7 minutes to play in the half. Ledger now wrestles that ball away, gets the ball out for Mickelson. now Baglione, she tees up a three. It's no good. Ledger there again for the rebound and puts it back. Katrina Ledger, an absolute monster on the offensive glass in this first half. And they're on the defensive end as well. Pulls down the defensive rebound. Now it's Mickelson through heavy traffic. Ball squirts its way back out to Driscoll, and now Baglione tries to step into a shot. It's no good, but there is Ledger again to keep possession in Milford's favor. Now out of the corner, it's Mickelson. Bounces around, won't go down. Ledger fighting for another rebound. Pellegrini ends up going down. The effort outstanding up and down the floor here for Milford. Still a 15-11 score as Rachel Hager takes the ball up the floor. She's the points leader so far for Sharon. Eagles trying to force the ball down low to Serena Bienemy. And now it's the Eagles following through on the offensive glass. That's Bienemy knocking down her first shot of the game. Cuts it back down to a 2-point margin. Now Kernan to Driscoll for two. That's 6 points for Driscoll in this second quarter. She has 8 for the half. Meanwhile, Driscoll called for her first foul. Coach Costa getting a little bit of an explanation, didn't like the call. Staying pretty mild-mannered on the sideline. These are two programs that have struggled to put wins on the board in recent seasons, trying to rebuild and climb back into the playoff race in this daunting Hockomock League. That pass airmailed. Ends up in the backcourt, and Olivia Baglione, all kinds of speed, but couldn't keep herself in bounds as she raced for that ball. Might have been better served letting it go out. Now into the corner for Taylor Bienemy. Shot does not fall. Another whistle here stopping the clock with 4:58 to go, and Ava Baglione to the sideline, and Coach Costa puts his arm around the sophomore, and no doubt delivering that message that we talked about moments ago, that while the effort was good on that play in the backcourt, next time let it go out of bounds and preserve possession for your team. The effort's really been one of the best attributes that we've seen out of Ava Baglione in all the sports that we've covered during her underclassmen years, is just that unyielding desire to make the big play. Nicholson selling out there for the steal. And now Baglione a little bit too physical there. Helps her opponent back to her feet. And so we see the same thing here that we saw in the boys' game that we covered last week, and that is the reset of team fouls in between quarters. So that's definitely a new rule change for this season, as well as seeing the adjusted shot clock up to 35 seconds. A 17-13 lead for Milford. Here's Hager again from deep. That high arcing three this time does not go down. And meanwhile, Olivia Baglione, as she starts back up the floor, gets called for the travel. And so Sharon will inbound in the front court. 4:22 to go in the half. Hager dishes inside, then a quick pass finding Ava Polton. Back out on the perimeter for Natalie David. Caitlin Kernan getting in the way of that pass. It goes out of bounds off of her. 19 seconds on the shot clock. And into Polton. Rebound controlled by Milford. Now Downing under the basket for Kernan. Her shot not close. And now Landstein blows by a defender, pulls up for the jumper, and uses the glass to bank it home. First 2 points of the night for Olivia Landstein. And the lead once again cut to 2 as that ball glances off the fingertips of Kernan and goes out of play. Timeout taken here on the floor, so 3 minutes and 33 seconds to go as these teams head into the huddle. An interesting season here for the Sharon Eagles. They won just 5 games last season, however, they did have the league's leading scorer in Jasmine Davis. Led the league in scoring as a junior, but did not return to this girls' varsity team for her senior season. Reading some of the stories before the start of the year, she has started an apprentice program, and so not returning to this team for her senior season. So certainly that is a significant loss, not being able to return the league's leading scorer as expected. So the rest of this roster looking to fit into roles that maybe they didn't necessarily think they would be fitting into at the conclusion of last season. But they do still return a lot of experience on their roster, as does Milford. Hoping that will play into their favor as the year goes on. This pass dangerously floated out there. Hager able to pull it down. Her shot is no good, and now here is Downing. She pulls back and gives way to Olivia Baglione. Good pressure defense there for Sharon, generates the steal. Now it's Landstein in a triple team. Tries to put the shot up, it's no good. Milford lets the ball go out of play, but they get the bad news that it was tipped out by the Scarlet Hawks. 30 seconds on the shot clock as Sharon inbounds, 3:03 to go in the half. Ball eventually makes its way to Hager. No good on the shot. Here's Kernan. Dumps the pass to Baglione. Tries to hook it in, but no good. We hover at a 17-15 Milford lead. And now the travel called against Sharon's Kieran Koster. Landstein into the backcourt to keep an eye on Baglione. Now Kernan into Mickelson. Baglione working baseline, floats up a shot. That is no good. The offense has really dried up here over the last several minutes on both sides. Both coaching staffs very active on the sidelines as Hager gets loose for a shot. Still sitting on 8 first-half points is Rachel Hager. She and Maeve Driscoll are tied for the game high in points scored so far. Here's Ledger now barreling her way down low. Can't knock down a shot. Now Hager dishes out onto the perimeter. A shot that misses everything, but Lauren McLaughlin there for the offensive rebound. Now the ball knocked out of play, and they'll give it to Milford. Changes for both teams here for this final stretch. Mickelson to the sideline. We'll get our first look at Gianna Nero. She was listed as 20 on the roster, but wearing number 22. Olivia Baglione blows past a defender, but then loses the handle and ends up getting whistled for the foul in the back end of the play. And that will now send Kieran Coster to the free throw line. 3 fouls now on Olivia Baglione. So Coach Costa will swap out one Baglione for another. With now less than 90 seconds remaining in the half. Costa knocks down both free throws to level this game at 17. Ava Polton, meanwhile, nearly pulling off a steal. Now here's Ava Baglione back outside now for Kernan. And we get another whistle. It's a second foul called on Taylor Bianenemy. Pulled right back to the sideline. Rotation here for Coach Della Barba in these closing minutes. As Ledger now dumps down low to Gianna Nero. They will wave off the shot as she will go to the free throw line. Ledger will try her luck out on the perimeter. Count it for 3. 8 points now in the half for Katrina Ledger. She puts Milford back on top. As now Sharon gets called for the traveling violation. Milford looking to head into halftime with the lead intact. Ledger can't settle that ball down. And heads up play for Ava Baglione, lets that go out. It will stay Milford ball. 23 seconds on the shot clock, 36.8 to go in the half. Ball into the hands of Downing. TJ gets free for a decent look, but the shot no good. Milford ends up committing the foul and a scrum for the rebounds. They'll call it on Nero, her first. Ball rattling around, it doesn't go in for Coster, making her second trip to the free throw line. Ends up missing both. Shot clock now turned off, but Milford bringing this ball ahead with purpose. wasn't the cleanest pass from Kernan, who was struggling with the handle, but got it away to Katrina Ledger, who did the rest. An outstanding second quarter, really an outstanding half all the way around for Ledger. And now the turnover for Sharon, and Milford looking to really dominate the close of this half. Two seconds left. Nero releases a shot. It's a little bit short. And so Milford will settle for a 22-17 lead heading into halftime. So a much better offensive quarter there for Milford. And they continue to really bring the energy on both ends of the floor. This new coaching staff has to be happy with the effort that they've seen all the way around through 2 quarters of play. So we will pause here for halftime. If you're joining us on our live coverage, just hang tight for the next 10 minutes and we will be back with second half coverage. Again, it is Milford leading Sharon 22-17 on this coverage of Milford High School girls basketball on Milford TV. Welcome back inside the Milford gym, everybody. Tim Coet here with you, getting set for second half coverage of this girls varsity basketball matchup between your Milford Scarlet Hawks and the visiting Sharon Eagles. Milford with a 22-17 lead as the third quarter gets underway. These teams have played tight defense through the first 2 quarters. We saw it there again as Rachel Hager knocked that ball free from Caitlin Kernan. Milford will continue to possess the basketball. Your overall leading scorer as we start the third quarter is Katrina Ledger, who had an outstanding first half. She had 9 points. Caitlin Kernan, meanwhile, who had 3 points in the first half, grabs the first bucket here in quarter number 3. Rachel Hager was your leading scorer on the Sharon side with 7 points. Generating the turnover as Sharon puts pressure on in the backcourt. Here's Mickelson. She dives to the floor, trying to rip that ball free. Gets locked up with Sharon's Natalie David for the jump ball. Possession arrow this time pointing in Sharon's direction. Down low to be an enemy and then back out for the shot for David, which does not go down. Quickly grabs the defensive rebound. Offensive and defensive rebounding were sensational for Milford in the first half. Here's Ledger. She comes away with a loose ball but can't hang on. Now Hager up the floor, 2-on-2. Tries to float that ball up but doesn't get the elevation. And now Downing settles things down, dishes off to Olivia Baglione. Olivia had to go to the bench in foul trouble in the first half. And meanwhile, they'll call Ledger for the travel. Looked like she was able to get that pass away. Coach Costa unhappy with the call as well. Now the pass into the corner. The shot from 3 off target by Ava Polton. Sharon keeps the possession going, and then it is Serena, the enemy. Takes the bucket, and not quite sure the conversation there in between. Milford now brings the ball into the front court. 6:14 on the third quarter clock. Bounce pass outside to TJ Downing for 3. It's off target. Kernan there for the rebound and gets it back for 2. 4 points now in this third quarter for Caitlin Kernan. It is Hager who confidently drops that ball in from long range. A nice little celebration after the fact. Both teams struggled offensively in the first quarter. It was an 8-8 score after one. Milford able to outscore Sharon 14-9 in the second quarter to carry a lead into halftime. 26-22 now as we tick down to 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. They get the ball back to Hager, dribbles it out of the corner. Contact as she released that shot. And free throws for Hager as they call the foul on Olivia Baglione, and this will likely send Olivia back to the bench as she has 4 fouls. Maeve Driscoll perched at the scorer's table. As Hager knocks down the free throw. It's her first trip to the line tonight. Indeed, it's Olivia out and Maeve in, with a chance for Sharon to cut the lead back down to 2. Hager able to make both. So quickly up to 12 points now for Rachel Hager. Now bounce pass down low, excellent, as Ledger finishes it off. Now Katrina into double figures with 11 points, and no doubt well on her way to a double-double. We haven't been tracking the rebounds, but they have it already with the way she has cleaned up the glass tonight. Now it's Downing getting locked up along with Serena Bianenemy for the jump ball. Milford will take possession. Another pause here with a little bit of back and forth with Coach Della Barba and one of the officials, and now the two officials briefly come together. And in the end, Sierra Mickelson make the inbounds pass, 4:42 to go in the third. The Milford lead is 4. Closed off. Now it's Maeve Driscoll. That shot wouldn't go. Ledger with another offensive rebound, put it up. This time the shot didn't fall, and Ledger claps the hands in frustration, wants to make that play every time. And meanwhile, a quick 3 knocked down by Cameron Leonardi. That's her second 3 of the night. And it cuts it down to a 1-point game. And there is Driscoll. She answers right back with a 3 of her own. Now Driscoll in double figures with 11 points. As right now both of these teams trying to get hot out on the perimeter. Here's Hager. Gets Driscoll to leave her feet but can't sink the bucket. And Driscoll comes away with the offensive rebound. Long outlet pass does not make its way to Mickelson. Now here's Leonardi. Delivers it back outside. Landstein almost losing her feet, but able to save it. Now Ledger, excellent defensive positioning. Does not allow the good look, and then settles the rebound. And meanwhile, Caitlin Kernan slips between a double team. She has 6 points in this third quarter. A 33-27 lead now for the Hawks. We're not able to get past 30 points in either of their previous 2 games, now already at 33 points with just under 3 minutes to go still in this third quarter. So it has been a much improved offensive effort for Milford in the third quarter, as now we're about to see the first entrance of the game of the night for Kaylee Turtelot, but it will come on the other side of a timeout. Clock paused at 2 minutes and 57 seconds. And so while we have a pause in the action, we mentioned this is our final action here in 2023 as our staff prepares to shut things down for a well-deserved holiday break. It's been a busy holiday season of coverage here on Milford TV. We'll We'll be sharing a host of holiday programs and school holiday concerts for you on our public and educational channels in the days ahead. But once the new year rolls around, we will be back in full force with winter sports coverage. We'll have a lot of boys and girls basketball coverage for you. We'll also have some wrestling coverage, and we're trying to finalize details to perhaps get to a game for the Milford Hopedale Hockey Co-op. We'll have more details on that to come, but we can tell you that we'll be back on the other side of New Year's with coverage of this girls basketball team on Friday, January 5th as they take on North Attleboro. We're also hopeful of getting in that hockey co-op game on that first week of the new year as well, when the Milford Hopedale hockey team plays Marlborough on Wednesday, January 3rd. We've already had coverage of the Milford wrestling team in a match against Franklin that took place back on December 13th. That game is now available for streaming on YouTube, also airing on our educational channel. Have more wrestling coverage in the new year as well, so you'll want to stay with us throughout this winter sports season, as we'll be bringing you coverage frequently once that calendar flips to 2024. Ledger, a quick shot, no good. Here's Turtelot fresh into the game and gets herself on the score sheet, cleaning up another good offensive rebound for Milford, as the Hawks take a 35-27 lead. It's about their largest lead of the night. 2:20 to play in the third quarter. Good defense from Maeve Driscoll. And that shot blocked on the way up. And now Sharon called for the travel. Pair of substitutions here for Coach Costa. Mickelson and Driscoll to the bench. Ava Baglione and Kay Pellegrini back out onto the floor. Pellegrini with a couple of fouls. Even 2 minutes on the clock here in quarter number 3. Yes, Katrina Ledger is fouled. Substitutions now on the Sharon side as well. Okay, Pellegrini ready to send this ball back in, but I've seen some deliberate discussions before these inbounds passes throughout the night, and now ready to go. Well, some treatment happening on the Sharon sideline for an injury. Here's Turtelot again, pulling down the rebound and puts it back for 2 more. 4 quick points off the bench for Kaylee Turtelot, and that gives Milford a 10-point lead. Hager now battling against Pellegrini, has to dish to the corner. That 3-point look is over everything. Turtelot, good positioning defensively, and that forces the travel. And Kaylee Turtelot has been an energy presence here off the bench in the third quarter. Long outlet pass finds Pellegrini. Now it's Ledger. Back out on the perimeter, Ava Baglione from 3. That clanks off the front of the rim. But Katrina Ledger once again there for the rebound. Gets the pass away before she hit the deck. Free throws coming up here for Milford. The foul called on Lauren McLaughlin. Ava Baglione knocks down the first free throw. That's her first point of the night. Perfect trip to the line, and the Milford lead now is 12 with just over a minute remaining in the third quarter. Now scrum under the basket. It's TJ Downing who comes away with the basketball, and Milford has really wrestled momentum fully on their side here in the third. Turtelot blocked on the way up, gets her own rebound, and finds Katrina Ledger, who puts in the bucket. This Milford team pumped up, playing very well so far here in the second half. Final 30 seconds ticking down in what has been an excellent third quarter, and Sharon a much-needed bucket. I believe that was the enemy who was able to knock that one down. Now Ledger with a turnover the other way. 8 seconds left. Can Milford punctuate this third quarter with one more bucket? Instead, Baglione loses control, and Sharon hoists up a shot maybe a second quicker than they needed to. It was not close, but overall an outstanding period of play for the Scarlet Hawks as they extend their lead to 41-29 with 8 minutes left to play. We'll take a quick timeout here on the coverage. We'll bring you the fourth quarter in just a moment. Stay with the coverage on Milford TV. So happy to have you with us here for this coverage of Milford varsity girls basketball here on Milford TV. Scarlet Hawks with a 41-29 lead as we begin the fourth quarter. Milford scoring 19 points in the third quarter, their best offensive quarter. Their offense has continued to get better as this game has gone along. Nero back into the game here to start the fourth. Kaylee Turtelot still out there as well. Made some great plays off the bench. Meanwhile, Downing with a wide open look, couldn't convert. And then finally, Milford able to put it in. Another extended possession. It was Gianna Nero eventually who was able to put in the bucket. That's her first points of the night. Commits the foul, meanwhile, under the basket. Serena Bienemy at the line. 6 points on the night. 4 of them came in the third quarter, but misses both free throws. Milford right now with Nero, Ava Baglione, Kaylee Turtelot, TJ Downing, and Kay Pellegrini, the 5 on the floor. Now out of the corner, it's Pellegrini. A shot off target. Possession stays with Milford. Fresh shot clock, 6:58 to go in the game. And now Downing, her shot off target, but Nero there for the rebound, but that pass picked off by Natalie David. And now Milford commits the foul on the other end of the floor. Milford looking for their second victory of the season, looking for their first win here at home. This is actually their home debut here tonight. Their first 3 games all came on the road. There's a win at Grafton and then losses at Foxborough and at Attleboro. Carmen Leonardi with one more free throw attempt. Able to knock down both shots. The Milford lead is 12 with 6:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Turtelot feeding Baglione underneath the basket. And the ball knocked out of bounds by the Sharon Eagles. It's about a 20-point margin of victory for the Milford junior varsity team to start off this night. As Pellegrini makes a nice move to the basket, but cannot finish at the rim. So the varsity team hoping to make it a clean sweep against their Sharon counterparts here tonight. Foul on Milford was called on Turtelot. She now has 2 fouls. Here's Hager now, steps back for the 3. That's no good. Offensive rebound was handled by Ava Polton, but ended up giving it right back to Milford. But now the midcourt steal, and put up and in by Polton. And she has a chance now for a 3-point play. And before we see the free throw for Polton, Coach Costa pulls his team to the sideline here. Back down to a 10-point margin, 6:06 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll take a quick pause here on the broadcast. Stay with the coverage here on Milford TV. Ava Polton back at the free throw line looking to finish off a 3-point play after she was fouled by Ava Baglione. This is the free throw, so it stays a 10-point margin on the scoreboard as we dip under 6 minutes to play. Here's Baglione, sees a lane to the basket and absorbs contact on the way up. Baglione doing more damage at the free throw line. Made 3 out of 4 shots from the line. And a quick jump ball after the free throw miss. Possession arrow gives it to the Eagles. Milford leading now by 11. Good quick ball movement. Sharon wide open from the corner. The shot no good, but there is Polton with the rebound and puts it back for 2. 5 points in the game now for Sharon's Ava Polton. Here's Pellegrini looking for a quick response from 3. Shot rims out, and Rachel Hager controls the defensive rebound. Lead back down to single digits, and another deep 3 nearly goes down for Hager. It ends up rimming out. And now Mickelson, the up fake. Ball knocked away by Sharon out of bounds. Bounce pass out to Downing, and now around for the shot for Ava Baglione. No good. Downing rebound and puts it in for 2. Downing's been a factor out there on the floor, but that's just her first points tonight. And Hager, meanwhile, trying to shoot the lights out here in the Milford gym. It's her deepest 3-point attempt of the night, but off target. And a hard shove from behind on Erin Mickelson. Foul will go against Carmen Leonardi. Up top for a quick 3 from Downing. And so from no points to a very quick 5 on the board for TJ Downing. And now Hager, her shot again misses. And possession goes back to the Scarlet Hawks. So looked like an opportunity presenting itself for Sharon to try to squeeze their way back into this game, but thanks to that quick 5-0 run for Downing, Milford with a 49-35 lead with just over 4 minutes left to play. Kernan against Hager. Gets it away now to TJ. TJ loses control and commits the foul. 2 fouls now on TJ Downing. Biggest Milford lead of the night right now at 14 points. Two free throws for Olivia Landstein. And the timeout is called. Clock stopped at 3 minutes and 51 seconds to go. Tracking the recent head-to-head matchups between Milford and Sharon, the Scarlet Hawks just 3-6 against the Eagles dating back to the 2017-2018 season, but the last few years, the matchups have been close. Back in the 2020-2021 season, that's the last time Milford was able to earn a victory in this head-to-head matchup, a 39-33 win. Then in the 2021-2022 season, an early season matchup here in Milford, It was a close game throughout, ended up going into overtime, but the Eagles were able to come away with a 55-50 win. And then last season, once again, single-digit margin in the end. But the Eagles were able to hold on at home for a 48-45 win. We talked about Jasmine Davis. Scored 25 of Sharon's 48 points. And also had 19 rebounds in that game. She was absolutely dominant in that win against Milford, but Davis not part of this varsity squad this season. And Milford looking to hang on for their second victory of the year. Their first here at home on the young season. Right now leading 49-37 with 3:44 on the clock. Mickelson in some trouble, tries to get the pass away. It eventually ends up in the hands of Olivia Baglione. She's back out on the floor with 4 fouls. And Milford a little out of control on that possession, so Coach Costa quickly calls the timeout. That stops the clock with 3 minutes and 35 seconds to go. So game number 4 here on the season for Milford. They will not play again until December 28th, when they will play a non-conference game on the road against Algonquin High School. And then right now they have a game scheduled on the 30th, so no doubt part of a non-conference tournament situation over the holiday break. So they will play against Algonquin on the 28th, and then an opponent to be determined on the 30th. And then we'll return to Hockomock League action in the new year on January 5th here at home against North Attleboro. That is a game we do expect to have covered for you here on Milford TV. A lot of home games through the middle of the month of January for Milford. They'll have a stretch of 3 straight home games on January 11th, January 16th, and January 19th against some tough competition in King Philip, Mansfield, and Taunton. So it's just a little bit of a snapshot at the season ahead for this Scarlet Hawks girls basketball team. 3.5 minutes to go as that pass takes a clank off the basketball hoop and ends up in the hands of the Eagles. Anstein working against this Milford defense. The shot comes in from the corner, no good. Ledger with another defensive rebound. Now Maeve Driscoll pauses at the three-point line, drives inside, can't finish. Whistle as the foul comes in. They call it against Katrina Ledger. It's just her second foul tonight. It just goes to show the control that she has had out there on the floor all night long, mixing it up under the boards, and just 2 fouls here with 2:58 to play. Free throws for Serena Bianenemy. Misses the second, but Sharon able to grab the offensive rebound. Miss from distance. Erin Mickelson with an offensive rebound. Caitlin Kernan moments away from checking back into the game. As Maeve Driscoll drives to the hoop and knocks it down. 13 points on the night for Maeve Driscoll. As Milford is now over 50 points scored on the evening, a new high on this young season. Here's Hager out about 5 feet beyond the three-point line. Sends it off the front of the rim. Olivia Baglione, her pass is knocked away. Sharon quickly able to get back up the floor. Now players going down hard, selling out for the rebound. Kernan ends up on the floor and quickly gets back to her feet. And meanwhile, Milford has to come back for the inbounds play. And now another lackadaisical pass for Milford, easy for Sharon to pick off. And now meanwhile there's Katrina Ledger, locks up for the jump ball. Possession arrow keeping it with Sharon. Olivia Baglione out, Ava Baglione in, 1:35 on the clock. As Natalie David tosses up a unconventional shot, just looking to draw the contact, and she does. Gets the fourth foul against Ava Baglione. Natalie David shooting free throws, looking for her first points of the night. Able to make one. As timeout is called on the floor with just 1 minute and 34 seconds to go. We'll take one more timeout here on the coverage. We'll wrap things up when we come back next. Stay with us here on Milford TV. Just 94 seconds to go in this game. Well in hand at this point for the Scarlet Hawks, although another steal here for Sharon as they have been able to rack up the turnovers here in the later stages of this fourth quarter. Downing trying to get away from Landstein. And now Ava Baglione, she gets fouled. Taylor Bieniemy with the foul, her third. Free throws for Ava Baglione. Ava Baglione 4 out of 6 from the free throw line tonight. And now comes away with the loose ball. Gets the pass ahead to Downing and then gets pulled down. An awkward play. And an injured player on the floor for Sharon, so we'll go right into an injury timeout here on Milford TV. It was Rachel Hager who was shaken up on the play for Sharon. She went down face first, was in some pain, ended up coming down on the ankle of TJ Downing, but she was able to avoid injury on the play. Hager now getting attended to on the sideline by Milford athletic trainer Ashley Desco. One for two on that trip to the line for TJ Downing. In the final minute here of fourth quarter action, Olivia Landstein collects a late bucket. Lead back down to 12 for Milford. Here is Caitlin Kernan all alone to the basket, trying for a high bank off the glass. The shot doesn't go down, and things getting a little chippy after the whistle. Up top now to Downing, and right back to Kernan. Now it's Driscoll eating up what remains of this clock. Now Ledger gets the feed down low, loses control. Shot clock turned off. One last trip up the floor perhaps here for the Eagles. Battling on the boards, and another bit of a shove at the end of the play as some frustration is shown through here for the Eagles in these closing seconds. 9.1 to go as Milford will head to the free throw line. The foul called on Serena Bienemy. To Ledger as the final buzzer sounds to put the finishing touches on an outstanding win here for the Scarlet Hawks as they defeat Sharon by a final score of 54-41. And so with the victory, Milford will earn their second win overall on the season. They will climb back to the 500 mark. They are now 2-2 on the season, and the Sharon Eagles will have to wait one more day for their first victory of the season as they fall now to 0-3 overall on the season. Again, an outstanding performance all the way around for the Scarlet Hawks. Katrina Ledger certainly front and center in this victory tonight. Double figures in points, no doubt double figures in rebounds as well. An excellent offensive performance for Maeve Driscoll as well. And Caitlin Kernan also a very strong performance, all adding up to a solid victory for the Milford Scarlet Hawks here tonight. So again, this wraps up our final edition of Scarlet Hawks Athletics here for 2023, but we will be locked and loaded with plenty of coverage in this winter sports season when we get back for the new year. Again, coverage of boys basketball, girls basketball, wrestling, and hopefully a little hockey on the horizon when we get back in the new year as well. So we want to wish everyone out there a very happy and healthy holiday season, and I want to acknowledge our outstanding crew working hard here tonight, our biggest crew of the winter sports season so far. Our crew supervisor for the game tonight is Patrick Garapi. Our main camera operator is Logan Keefe, and Milford TV interns Nate Kamara and Jack Ricca sharing duties on director and sideline camera on the night here tonight. And I am Tim Coette. That final score, one final time, Milford with the victory over the Sharon Eagles by a final score of 54-41. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV. Happy holidays, everybody.